What's up, all? It's Jacob here with AllDriveNoDrop. We're talking about my top 5 power pickleball paddles right now for your summer 2025 and into the future. I'm only going to include paddles that are officially for sale at the moment of me recording this video. I know there's a lot of stuff going on, but don't worry, we'll cover that in the future. Top 5 right now that are for sale that I'm playing, and then we'll also break down some of the stats at the end to show you like how everything stacks up in the landscape. So we'll run through the top 5 real quick, and then we'll get to the stats just for a short digestible video so you can see what I think are the top right now in the market. So let's jump in to my number 1 that won't be a surprise if you're a big fan of the channel. So my number 1 power paddle right now is the Honolulu J2NF. Forget about that L because it's going to be only an NF when you see it in your mailbox, all right? Look, this is a hybrid shaped paddle. It ranges from 110 to 114 swing weight, around a 7-ish twist weight, depending on what your swing weight comes in at. The power profile on this is just so consistent. This is one of the biggest sweet spots of any paddles I have tried. That new core construction, you have an EPP foam in the center, surrounded by an EVA foam that interlocks like puzzle pieces. That just creates for a very pleasant experience. You get amazing dwell, you get amazing spin. The grit level on this is really high. The pop is not too poppy, but enough pop to get the job done, which makes it my top power paddle right now. And for the weight setup, I put 3 inches of 0.5 gram per inch tungsten tape, and I use Bodhi tungsten tape for all my stuff, and Bodhi grips if you're looking for those. But this just unlocks the power even more when you put it on these corners. So I put it on each of the 4 corners. It just makes it even better. But this is the best power paddle stock on this list. So if you don't want to mess with weight, this is already great stock. You want to put a little weight on there, make it even better. Now, the one drawback that some people will have, the handle is a little bit on the shorter side. It lists at 5.5. You have the wide taper here. I don't have a problem with my 2-handed backhand on it, but if you are someone that wants to put a full 2 hands on there and you have larger hands, you might want to look at some of the other ones on the list. But as far as the most consistent, high-performing power paddle, the Honolulu J2NF is still it for me. For my favorite. Now let's go on to some other ones on the list for number 2 because they're pretty good too. Number 2 is the Joola Pro IV Agassi 16mm for me. This is one of the highest power, is near the top of the charts for the most power of any of the paddles I've tested. Great touch around the net of the 16mm, amazing dwell time, amazing spin, and good pop too, but not too poppy. If you wanted something that's poppier, the 14mm Agassi version or the 14mm Pro 4 Perseus are also great options, but the 16mm for me is my favorite. This one ranges from a 118 to 120 swing weight, around a 6.3 twist weight, and just a great sweet spot stock already. For my weight setup, I do about 6 inches from the corner going up of 0.5 gram per inch. That just helps the stability a little bit, helps widen that sweet spot a little bit, which, you know, for most elongated, they need it. But overall, the Agassi Pro 4 16mm is just an amazing paddle, and that's why it's number 2 on my list. Let's go to number 3. Okay, number 3, and this one's just grown on me more and more and more. The SLK Era Power 16mm elongated, and this one, no problem with the 2-handed backhands. And it comes in cyan blue, it comes in white. I think they're throwing in some other colors. Also comes in a wide body. Haven't got enough time on the wide body, but the elongated is just so good. And this is another one that you really could play stock if you just want to play it stock. I would like to put a little bit of weight on there. I like to put 3 inches of 1 gram per inch tungsten tape. That's been my favorite setup on it. Just starting at that bottom corner going up. The swing rate ranges from 116 to 118. So this is already, you know, a pretty low starting swing weight for an elongated paddle, so you have room to add that weight. This one is less stiff than the Joola Pro 4, so if stiffness is an issue, then this would be a little bit better for you. It pockets the ball well with, you know, pretty good dwell time, really good spin, and then the power level is just below that Joola Pro 4, just below the Honolulu J2NF. So if you're looking for something that is a little bit more controllable but still has really good top end power, then this SLK Era is going to be it. And there's some nice pop on it too. You still get that Gen 3 feeling. it just isn't as stiff as the Joola Pro 4s. So let's go to number 4 on the list. Okay, so number 4 on the list is the Franklin C45 Dynasty 16mm. These look great. They come in blue and red. This is obviously the blue version, but this one is the one that you really need to add weight to increase the performance even more. I would put the feel of this right in the middle of soft and stiff. It's not too soft and it's not too stiff, and you still get that satisfying Gen 3 sound. Now, for my weight setup, I do 3 grams of 1 gram per inch tungsten tape starting at that bottom corner going up. Now, the weight helps transform this paddle really well because it comes in light at 7.8 ounces. All their paddles come in really light, so basically they're letting you customize it how you want, and that comes in at around a 116 to 118 swing weight with at around a 6-ish twist weight. A little lower on the twist weight just because it comes in so light. But you get really good, consistent power off the face, really good, consistent pop off the face, and pretty good spin still. Just not the most amazing dwell time. I would say it's about an average dwell time. Not as much dwell as the SLK Era and the Joola Pro 4. And that's why it's slightly further down this list. Just lets you customize a lot more. So if that's what you're looking for, that's why it ends up at number 4. Let's move on to number 5. So for number 5, this is basically my best $100, around $100 power paddle. And yes, price is considered with this one. Even if price wasn't considered, this is still an amazing power paddle. It just takes a little bit more work to transform because it is a super light paddle out of the box. Mine came in at 114 swing weight, ranges from 114 to 117 on the swing weight, and the twist weight comes in around 5.85. Now, plenty of room for 2-handed backhands on this too. It does take a little bit of time to break in, but this is also on the softer side of all the paddles I've talked about on this list and just paddles in general. So not too stiff if you're worried about that. Really, really, really good dwell time. I've been putting 6 inches of 1 gram per inch tungsten tape starting on the bottom corner and going up. That really helps transform this paddle and gives it even a wider sweet spot, gives it that increase in power, gives it even more playability. I know a lot of people actually playing the stock that like it, but I would say a majority of people do prefer it with weight. And at $100, that just really changes the game when you're looking for a really good power paddle that also doesn't break the bank. Okay, so let's jump into my spreadsheet here so we can just kind of walk through how the paddles I have on my top 5 stack up against the competition and why I didn't include some of the other ones that might look better with just the raw power, but I don't think they perform as well on the court. So we'll start off with the Rhombus Ripples, which I think will be on some other people's top power lists. I just think that for the consistency you get out of them and the higher swing weights, I can't recommend it. They're a little harder to control with that smaller sweet spot and less maneuverable. They're just not my favorite, and that's why if we're just looking for the top end power, I would still go with the Joola Pro IV Agassi or Perseus 16mm. But if you really, really want to chase that, you can go for the Rhombus Ripple. Just keep in mind that Rhombus Ripple Elongated comes in at a 124 swing weight. So we are talking about something that's kind of just, a little harder to swing. Going down, we do have the Holbrook Arma T up there, pretty high on the power list as well. Just really worried about the construction on those. If they figure out the construction, it's an amazing paddle and I would recommend it. So if they figure out the durability, I would be completely fine. See, the Honolulu J2NF comes in there. Now, obviously, a big fan of that as the number 1. Paddletech TKOC, just not my favorite construction. Smaller sweet spot, really dies down off-center shots, really just dies off the paddle. Really stiff and hurts my elbow, so that's why I did not include it. Still, a really good paddle. Proton Flamingo breaks too much, just breaks too much. Good paddle until it breaks, and the customer service has not been the best. They don't respond to warranty requests quick, so I cannot recommend it. Selkirk Era, obviously on the list. Pro 4 Scorpius wide body. If you're looking for a wide body, no problem with the Pro 4 Scorpius 16mm. That handle is kind of hard to get 2 hands on if you have even just a little slightly above average hands. Keep that in mind. Franklin C45 Dynasty 16mm, we talked about it. J2 FC Plus from Honolulu, another good one. If you want something slightly toned down, slightly less popular than the NF, but with still really good power, still amazing sweet spot across the board, then yeah, FC Plus is really good. And then, you know, going down, all these other ones in like the 150s to 200s, nothing really competes with the Friday Fever on the price range. And as you can see, the Friday Fever is a little lower on this list in power, but that's when it's completely stock and it has a lot of room to add weight. When you add weight to this thing, it really jumps up to about that Honolulu J2NF's SLK Era Franklin C45 Dynasty level. That's just a quick summary of why I didn't include some of the other ones on my top 5. Obviously, to make a top 5, you have to make a lot of cuts, and that's just my quick hit on that. Okay, so those are my top 5 right now. I imagine I'll be making another top 5, you know, in the next couple of months, as there's a lot of stuff coming out this summer. But honestly, these top 5 right now are amazing. I could pick any of them to go to a tournament with, and I would be completely fine with it. I would be very happy to play with any of them in a tournament. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them there. Please like the video if you have found it useful. And then if you want to stay up to date on all my latest videos and all my latest podcasts, please click subscribe. It really helps support the channel, helps me keep growing and continue to bring all the pickleball content that I bring to you. So thank you very much. Appreciate all the support. Everyone out there, have a great rest of your summer, and hopefully you rip some big drives and live that all drive lifestyle. Go play some pickleball.